Hello, let's make some counters. Okay, I'm getting rid of that. Cool. So we're going to make a counter. So you hit plus and it adds, and you hit minus and it subtracts. We won't go too fancy, like it's going to go into the negative numbers. We don't care about that. This is first steps. So something about this is that you will need to use a variable. And let's say we have a list of items. Did I make them? No. I'm just going to make some here. Let's do vegetables. Carrots. I want it to be right aligned. Yes, because I want the numbers to be to the right of it. Okay, carrots, something. Potatoes. Potatoes. Does that have an E? Yes. Potatoes. Peas and lettuce. Okay, let's move that in. This is just my little test screen. This could be one of your kiosk screens. Those are set up. I need to have a variable for each one of these. So I'm going to go into variables, which is here I am, the left-hand side. There is file, there's assets, which is where your components live. You can find stuff, search for any name, which is also why it's good to name all your layers. And also there is variables. So we're going to click it and make some. Create. I'm going to create a number, and I'm going to call this one carrot count. It's a number, and the default value is 0. That's perfect. And then I hope you can hear me okay. My microphone is weird. Potato count. Number. Pea count. And lettuce count. Okay, so just inside this create button down here, this plus, you can do a string, which is text, a number, a color value, or on off. So this is like a toggle. Cool. So we want these all to be numbers, and the default value that we're going to start with for all of them is 0. And let's go back to files. Cool. So let's go back over here. So here's my count. I am going to make this a component. So I'm going to select all of it. It's not in a frame together, so I want to do that first. I'm going to right click on it and say frame. I think this will be enough for 2 digits and not get too crowded, but maybe we'll have to adjust. But there's frame selection. And now that it's all in one piece, I can say, I'll call it the counter. And I'm going to right click on it and call it create component, or option command K. Now is a component over here on the right hand side. It is called the counter, and it has no properties, and that's great. So let's take that. I'm going to sort of zoom out. I'm just going to option drag that over here, and I'm going to just make copies of it. So we know it's a copy because it's an empty diamond. I am going to just duplicate them. Command D will duplicate. Cool. So for carrots, this is the boring part. Prototype. Add an interaction. When I tap, I want to set a variable. So I'm going to go find the carrot count. Carrot. I'm going to set it to carrot. So the target variable is carrot count, and I'm going to carrot count, and then add, and then, did I do add? Yes, add 1. Cool. And then it will just keep adding forever. It's not the greatest design, but it will work for this. Same thing for the minus. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to go to prototype, plus interactions, tap. When I tap, I want to set the variable of carrot count to carrot count subtraction minus 1. Cool. So let's try out carrot and make sure it works before we do the rest of them, because that would be painful if it didn't work. So I'm going to hit shift space while that frame is selected, and let's try out caret. And it's not working. So let's figure out what's going on here. Oh, I never assigned this to the variable. So it probably is adding and subtracting from the carets variable, but we haven't assigned that variable to this number. So the number's not updating. Okay, cool. So here's the number, and up at the top with the number selected, you will see there is a little weird icon that has a hexagon, and it says apply variables. If you're not seeing this stuff, by the way, there's a little show. Where is it? Oh, by the percentages. There's like a additional labels. You want to make sure that's on. Okay. Anyway, back to the task at hand. So the 0 is selected. I hit variable, and I choose caret count. Okay, so now this number is attached to that variable and it should update. Let's try it. Shift space, plus, 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 minus, 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 minus. Oop. Oh, there we go. They're really tiny. Should probably have made them bigger buttons. And then it doesn't work for the other ones. So basically, you guessed it, you would do the same thing here. So the potato 0 should be potato count, and the peas one should be pea count, and lettuce should be lettuce count, lettuce count. And then same thing here. I'll do one more, and then I think that'll, yeah, you can always rewind, but click on the plus, go to prototype, add interaction, on tap, and then in the action, go to set variable, choose potato count, and change it to potato count plus 1. Cool. And then same thing here. Prototype, interactions, add one, tap, on tap, oops, wrong one, on tap, set the variable to potato count minus, set variable of potato count to potato count minus 1. Okay. I'm going to click on the frame. It's just a little test frame. I'm going to hit shift space so we can have a little preview. So do carets still work? Yes, carets still work. Is it separate from potato? Yes, it is. Cool. So there you go. One more cool thing. Let's say we want to have a shopping cart. We can, I'll just put it here so it's like easy to see. T text 0, and then maybe I'll have like, oh, I'm in prototype mode. Back to design. So 0, and then T for text. I'll just say cart. Are you left aligned or right aligned? Whatever. Cool. So there's the cart. Give it some space. Now I need a variable for this one. So I'm going to go back to variables, and I am going to go and make a new one, and I'm going to call that one a number, and I'm going to call it cart count. And then let's see if we can get a little fancy. Can we? I don't. We'll try it. We'll try it anyway. I think you have to add. It's going to have to be an and. So if we do this and we wire this, the global one up, like the actual component, and I say interaction, when I tap it, I want you to set the variable. I know this isn't going to work, so we'll do it the other way. Set the variable of cart count to cart count plus 1. And I'm just going to test that out. I know this isn't going to work. It's crazy. Oh, there we are. Okay. And that, did I assign it? No. Okay, so I've clicked the 0, go up here to variables, and I choose cart count. Let's try this thing that's not going to work. It'll probably break carrot and potato. All right, maybe not. Let's see if it goes to 4. Oh, it totally works. That's awesome. Yay, that was so much easier. So basically what I did there was in the global component, I set up if you press any plus anywhere like that is using this component, then have it update the cart count. And so now I can do the same thing with minus in the actual component. I can say prototype plus interaction when I tap, set the variable of cart count to cart count minus 1. Cool. And that should let it go down. So shift space 1. Beautiful. And then if we do minus, yes. Yes, that was great. So 6 total. Yep. 1, 9, 8, 7. Awesome. Yay. There you go. How long did I take? 11 minutes.